Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Healthy Brain Podcast. I'm saying the morning because that's when I'm recording this. It's, well, just a little bit into the afternoon, but it feels like the morning. All right. So today I'm talking to all you people who have this personality characteristic. It's the three P's. Either you're a procrastinator, a people pleaser, or a perfectionist. And you may say, I'm all of the above, or I'm none of them, possibly. So today I'm going to be talking about strategies to overcome these personality characteristics. And these are things that I've used with my personally for myself and for my coaching clients and for my clients working years and years with cognitive rehab in cognitive rehab therapists that I currently have two private practices, one in speech cognitive therapy and the other in coaching. So most of you would fall into the second area, which is you're looking to improve your brain health, you're looking to improve your overall health and your productivity. I've had over 25 years experience in the neuroscience aspect and the medical field. I still do see patients through teletherapy, but I also see coaching clients. And at the end, I'll tell a little bit more about coaching with me. If you're interested, you can always fill out, or actually, I don't have a questionnaire now. I just have set up a free coaching call. There's no, don't think that you have to commit to anything. There's no commitment. It is just show up, share what you feel like sharing as far as your goals. I'll talk with you about them, where you think you're getting stuck, where I feel and I can hear where you're getting stuck and how coaching can actually help you. And I'll explain the process and the plan. And it usually, I can say that, well, I'll just talk about it now with the coaching instead of at the end of the episode. With the coaching program that I offer, it's one-on-one and it's a 12-week program, and we curate a program for you, a brain health and longevity program, overall health as well. So there are some aspects that are similar from client to client. However, it really is curated. It's specifically and personalized to you and what you really need. And it's through the years of, for me, being a coach and also the many, many years working in neuroscience, that I am able to really offer this personalized coaching program. So definitely fill out or not apply. There's no application. I apologize. There's no application. It is just fill out there's a calendar link and you just book your session. It's through Zoom and it's a free coaching call to check it all out. And if you're interested, if you've been sitting on the fence, now is a perfect time. All right, now you may see, if you're watching, it may look like my forehead, that I have a marker. It's almost like a Sharpie line or a pen mark, but it's not. It's a little scab from I I was gardening, weeding specifically, and I didn't realize I'm quite tall, but I was bending down weeding. And when I stood up, there was a nice branch right there and it just, I had a little goose egg, not huge, but this remnants of the scab. And I'm trying not to rub it because I want it to heal as natural as possible without a big gouge in my head. Hopefully I won't have it. It didn't really hurt. It just was like, oh, what's this? And it sort of came out that next day where I saw the big scrape. All right, let's get on with the episode. So working with my clients, they fit into the three categories. And in this I call it a personality characteristic. And FYI, I am one of these. I am the people pleaser. I definitely have characteristics of being a people pleaser. And I have had to work intentionally in overcoming this, and it keeps rearing its ugly head at different times. It and it can stop me in my tracks, and I use my coaching tools to work through it. And I want to share some of those tools with you. But first off, before we talk about the tools and the strategies, it's important to know which personality characteristic you have. So I'm going to go through the three: the procrastinator, the people pleaser, or the perfectionist. And I'll just give you some bullet points. Think about it, maybe write them down, jot them down, and come back to it to see, or maybe you can identify right at the point of writing it down that, yes, I am more of a procrastinator, or I'm more of a perfectionist. And again, this is a personality characteristic. It's in some ways, some people will say, some researchers will say it's a genetic disposition that we have, but it's also framed by how we grew up, circumstances around just our lives and what we experienced. So just have compassion for yourself. And this is not to say, oh, darn, this is bad to be a procrastinator or people pleaser or perfectionist. We wanted to just identify what's happening. And with that identification, with that naming of it, we can move forward. That we can then take, if as I'm explaining things, if you find that, yeah, this is really keeping me stuck, then that knowledge is power. And I always believe that the more you know about yourself, the more that you accept yourself. That's the other thing. Accept yourself where you are. I know that I'm a people pleaser. If you had asked me 10, 15 years ago, would I have known that? No, I would have just said different things. Like I don't seem to stand up for myself. I don't share my opinions. I really am worried about what people think of me, of judging me, what they're saying about me. That kept me stuck and frozen for so long. And no matter how much I then found out, okay, maybe I am a people pleaser, but then I didn't have any tools to work through it. And then it's with the coaching that I was able to use the tools and move forward with it. Let's start talking about the different types. So the first personality characteristic could be a procrastinator. A procrastinator avoids uncomfortable growth. They're afraid of change. They become overwhelmed frequently. They put things off, and they often seek comfort because they want to avoid the uncomfortable growth. So the thing with growth is there's really not any comfortable growth unless it's really inching forward. But to really grow in our lives, there will be discomfort. So a lot of times procrastinators, they just don't want to deal with that discomfort, and they seek comfort versus the discomfort, the uncomfortable growth. They're afraid of change because they may think that they may not be able to handle the change. And it actually gets into a nervous system dysregulation. Some of the coaching tools, when I really get specific with clients, is what do they need for this nervous system dysregulation? It could be they need a yoga nidra. They need a meditation practice. They need a breathwork practice. They need grounding in nature immersion. So it just depends on the person. But a lot of times a procrastinator will avoid something because their nervous system starts to, like, they feel dysregulated. That could show up physically, and then emotionally, different ways that it shows up for people. So notice, like, are you a procrastinator? Now let's go into people pleasing. If you're a people pleaser, you're worried about being judged. you're seeking approval and acceptance from others. You want to feel like you belong and that you're valued by others. And you may avoid doing things that bring a lot of attention to you because of this, like it's this dichotomy. I know personally, it's sometimes I'll do things that thinking, well, I want to be seen and valued and heard, but then I don't want people to really know that it's me. It's sort of this dichotomy. It's really, really interesting. So notice, are you doing, and I've had to ask this question, it's like, am I doing this action to serve someone else, to help someone else, or is it really because I want to feel accepted? I want to feel valued. There's nothing wrong with wanting to feel accepted and valued. And we can go into the whole tribal, like we want to be part of a tribe. We want to be part of a community, which is really human nature. We do need a community, but it gets to where we're always seeking everything we're doing. We won't take the steps forward because we're seeking approval. We're seeking acceptance. And if we don't get that approval and acceptance, we're not going to go ahead with something. That's in the people pleaser. Perfectionism is you're worried about being wrong or imperfect. You have extremely high standards for yourself. You may want to do everything yourself to ensure that it's done perfectly. You want it to be done right. You reach for excellence. And again, there's nothing wrong with reaching for excellence and doing as best as you can. But when you limit yourself in moving forward because you're like, oh, it's just not good enough. So those are the 3 personality characteristics that we're talking about today. Now, there's other personality characteristics, but we're just focusing on those 3. What are some tips to overcome each one? All right, we'll start with the perfectionist. What I have found in working with people is they need a simple planning system, something that's not too complex, because a lot of times they want to get into the nitty gritty, like everything, the minutia detail. Yes, that's important, but if it keeps you from really taking the first step, or if you push everything to the last minute and then don't get it done because you wanted everything to be perfect. So with my coaching clients, I do work on a time management system that's part of an executive function skill. So that's where I bring in some of the neuroscience. We create a simple planning system for these clients, for all of my clients, but specifically for these with the perfectionist tendency. And we look also at if someone has failed, what did they learn? We want them to celebrate the small wins as well, and also to use mini milestones to mark progress in a goal. So it could be that you want to lose a certain amount of weight. Well, can you have mini milestones like every week or every month, a lower, of course, a smaller doable amount that you can use that as the milestone of you reaching the progress to the goal. And the other thing with an approach and a strategy is to be okay with doing A- or B+ work. A couple of years ago, I was at a personal development seminar, and I was fortunate to meet a retired Navy SEAL, Jason Redman. He is the author of Get Off the X, and he's a veteran, of course, went through horrific injury, and he could have remained stuck and not doing things productively. He now has this whole coaching and planning system. But I remember asking him, because we were talking about, okay, you have an idea, you want to run with it. And I asked him, when do you know you're ready? Because this is like, okay, this is a retired Navy SEAL. They're seeing a lot of action, and they have to make split decisions. And he said something that stuck with me. When you're 70% sure, that's when you do it. Going further, going to 90%, you can't wait for that, but you gotta get to around 70%. So with perfectionists, take that and run with it. Can you be 70% okay with your work, with what you're thinking of doing, and just go with it? Now, there's the next people pleaser is the other tips for people pleaser. Setting boundaries. Focus on your own goals and visions every day. Don't say yes right away. I always say like 24 hours. When my kids were playing sports, it was funny because the coach would always say, no communication, please, with the coach. If you have something to say, meaning parents, if the parents had something to say for 24 hours, it just meant like you got to think about what you're going to say before you say it. But the reason of not saying yes right away is a people pleaser will say, yeah, I can do it. Yeah, I can do it. And then they get out of the situation. They're like, oh my gosh, I can't do it. So give yourself, and this has helped me a lot, give yourself some grace time to think about it and to see if it lines up with your priorities and your goals. Limit comparison with others. Now, I've found that social media can be a hotbed of comparison. So I definitely have limited how much I'm interacting, or not even interacting, scrolling on social media, because having that always there to access and to look, it's easy to compare and to say, oh, I'm not doing as good as I should, or am I able to show up how I authentically want to show up, or am I worried about somebody judging me? The other is that another tip is creating mini challenges just for yourself to help you towards your goals. Really almost put the blinders on and focus in on what are the things and challenges that I could do, a little mini challenge. Let's go on to procrastinators. So some tips for a procrastinator. What really helps is breaking down big goals to mini goals, mini tasks that are almost like, of course I can do it. It's only going to take 2 minutes. But those little things can really help create some momentum. You can use a timer to help you stay focused on that specific task, instead of because I know people will say, well, it's just going to take so long. Well, just give yourself 10 minutes and see what you get done in the 10 minutes. You can also eliminate distractions. That will help a lot with procrastinators. And working with focused music can help. So some people like myself, I like to do work with classical music. Sometimes I have no music, but if you have an opportunity to try different types of music and see how your attention, if you have improved attention with certain background music, that can help you to stay focused in order to eliminate the procrastination. Well, that's what I have for you today. Thank you for joining me. It was like a quick podcast. Also, just set up this free coaching call if you would like to learn more about coaching with me. I'd love to talk with you about your goals, where you are getting stuck, and how coaching can help you just like it's helped me. Have a great day, everyone.